Hey friends, Preston Ayers back here with you here on Interstate 26. What is shut down? This should not look like this, but it's likely going to be that way for some time. We just had Governor Bill Lee in town along with Senator Marsha Blackburn and Congresswoman Diana Harshbarger and other state officials. House Speaker Cameron Sexton was along with the Deputy Governor. The team and director were all on board. They toured the area by air, and we got a chance to talk with them shortly after they landed back at the Tri-Cities, describing it for what they saw as heartbreaking. And we've all seen that in the videos and what we've seen out there. But one thing that the governor talked about is the federal declaration that was approved last night to getting resources in here will help in making that happen faster. Marsha Blackburn talking about her office working in making that happen. But the governor also talked about the infrastructure, and we know there's so much loss and property damage and so many things like that. But one thing the governor they're trying to do is to get resources into these communities, and the first step with that is being able to access those communities. And I talked with Deputy Governor Butch Ely, who's also the TDOT commissioner. He talked with me about the number of roads that we have closed, at least on the state level, and that's kind of why we're standing here in a shutdown I-26. And this is going to be one of the big projects. But I want to share with you what the Deputy Governor gave me. There are 4 state routes right now across Northeast Tennessee that are considered the routes themselves with major destruction and major rebuilding to come. That is State Route 34 in Johnson County, State Route 91 in Johnson County, 159 in Carter County, and 81 in Unicoi County. Those are the state routes with major damage. Then we've all seen that video of the bridges washing away, the 2 on I-26 and others across the region. Right now, TDOT has 3 state route bridges that they are responsible for that are completely destroyed. That is the 81 bridge in Washington County, the 353 bridge in Washington County, and 107 in Greene County. Now, that's not to say those are the only bridges, because there are several county bridges that are also impacted in the states involved in that as well. Then the 2 on I-26, which are back behind us now. That's why the interstate is closed. And then there's a large section of Interstate 40 down toward the Cott County side of that, heading over into North Carolina with major damage and bridge problems there. So what is it going to take to fix all of this? I talked to the governor and TDOT about this. Their first plan right now is to work with some counties and try to reopen some county routes and maybe make those into state routes and use those as temporary routes. As far as the interstate, they're looking at how they can reroute that traffic, because you can't see it, but back behind the camera right now is a backup of I-26 traffic. Their only recommendation for a way around on that is Interstate 81 and I-77. Of course, that's using Virginia up through Wytheville down through North Carolina to get around, because I-40 is not an option. They are hoping to have I-40 open back at least with 1 lane in each way sooner than the I-26 problem. That's going to last much longer. We'll hear more from the governor when we're able to get on the air coming up on News 5 here in just a little bit. We'll hear more from him and also what they saw from the air and what it's going to take to make these repairs. That's just looking at the infrastructure, and there's so much more devastation and destruction that our region is going to have to deal with. We'll talk about that as well as the days and weeks and months ahead. For now, we're live on I-26. Just wanted to share a little bit with you here. I'm Preston Ayers. We'll keep covering this for you and keep covering for our region.